Do you want to render flipbooks from VDB animations? In this video, I'll show you how you can do just that in Blender. I'll show you how you can properly import a VDB sequence, and how you can set up the shader, how you can remap the timeline so that you can squeeze the whole animation within however many frames that you want, regardless of however many frames there actually is in the animation. I'm going to be using the mid-air explosion from Django Effects CCO licensed VDB files, link in the description, and here's what the rendered flipbook looks like in Unity. And in case you don't want to use a VDB animation and you want to simulate your own explosion fireballs, I do have a tutorial on that as well. The first link in the description. Check it out after you watch this video. So, I'm going to be using this mid-air explosion from Django Effects. If you want to follow along, go ahead and download this. Alright, so this gives us 126 files, VDB files, and we're going to import those in Blender. So let me get rid of these, and we're going to import volume, import open VDB, and we're going to open all of these. And what you'll notice is that we have three VDB animations, and the animation doesn't really make a lot of sense. The reason for this is that our VDB files here, some of them have a 1-digit number, some of them have a 2-digit number, and some of them have 3 digits. So we want all of them to have 3 digits. So this first frame, frame 0, should be 000, frame 1 should be 001, and so on. Now for this, I have a command. This will work if you're using Linux or Mac OS. I'm not sure if this will work on Windows, but you can copy this from down below. So I'm going to open a terminal here and run this command, and this will rename the file. So now frame 2 is called 002. And if we import it again, so let me select all of them and import. Now this whole thing is one sequence, and this is gigantic, as you can see, so I'm gonna scale it like 10 times smaller so that it kind of makes sense. Alright, so this was 126 frames, so let's set our timeline to be 126 as well, and let's open a shader editor. So with this volume selected, we're gonna add a new material. So if you go to the data properties tab, you can see we have different channels or different attributes for this volume. We have density, we have flames, and temperature. So if you go to the rendered view, and let's add in a sunlight so that we can see this a little better. Let's rotate the light a little. And now if I add in an attribute input node and get the density channel, and if you plug that into the density, you can see that it changes the density. And we're gonna get the flames, so let's get flames and plug that into our black body intensity. and you can't really see it here. If you turn the density to 0, you can barely see something. Let's go to our world tab and set the strength to 0. And now you can barely see some flames. Now the temperature attribute is pretty much the same, so let's use temperature. I misspelled that. Temperature. So as you can see, we have some flames going on here. If we want it to be much brighter so that when we have the smoke as well, we can still see the flames through the smoke. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna multiply this, and let's plug this into black body intensity, and now we can set this to like 100. And it's kind of red. I don't like it. Let's make it hotter so that it becomes yellow. Let's set it to like 1,000. It may be a little too much. I don't know. Let's duplicate these, and we're gonna get the density, and let's set it to 1 and plug that into density. So this is what it looks like with the smoke. You can adjust it, make it less bright, but I think it's okay. So I'm gonna go with 1,000. And if you go to the last frame, 126, you can see we still have some smoke. We don't want to have any smoke here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add an input value node here, and we're gonna plug this into the multiply of our density. So this is our densities multiplier. So here in frame 1, we're gonna add a keyframe to it, and then we can go all the way to like here maybe, and we can give it another keyframe, and then we can go to the last frame and set it to 0 and give it another keyframe. So this way, in the last frame, the smoke is completely gone. Let's add a camera here, and let me first reset its position and rotation, and let's rotate it so that it's facing our explosion. Let's move it back. And let's go to our output tab and set our resolution to 512 by 512. And let's see if we have the explosion in frame. Okay, we need to move the camera a little higher. Like about there maybe. So now we have the whole explosion in frame. Well, not quite. It kind of gets clipped a little. So let's maybe move it back a little more. Okay, so now we have the whole thing in frame. Let's actually move a little forward and move the camera a little down. Okay, so now that we have framed our explosion, we can render it. Alright, so we obviously don't want to render 126 frames because it doesn't really fit well in a flipbook texture, and also it's just way too many frames. So what we're gonna do here in the frame range under time stretching, we're gonna set the old to 126, and the new one is how many frames we want to render. So we can set this to like 64 or 32. So what this means is that we render the timeline into 32 frames. Here under the output, we can set our file format to this TGA format and make sure it's RGBA because we also want to have transparency. And then we can set our output directory. I'm going to create a folder called render, and we're going to render to this folder. Alright, so under the render tab, we're going to check transparent under film. And I don't want to go with too many samples. I've set it to 8. But you can obviously go higher for the samples, but I just want the render to be like really fast. So, alright, so now we can hit render. Render animation. Alright, so one thing I forgot to do is setting our frame range. So after you set this time stretching, you also want to set your end frame to this new frame range. So you want to set it to 32. Now I forgot to do that, and I was rendering more frames than I needed, so I stopped the render. So we don't need these 3 extra frames that I rendered. So here are our 32 frames. Now we can pack them into a flipbook. Alright, so let's pack this into a flipbook. I'm going to be using this tool called Motion Frame. I already have like 2 other videos where I go over how you can use this. There's really not much to it. You just open the folder that you have your renders at. And we have 32 frames, so we can set this to be 8 by 4, and we can just generate. And now it has generated a flipbook, and we can save it. We can save it in a folder, and we can call it mid-air explosion 8 by 4. And now we have an 8 by 4 flipbook texture. Alright guys, so here's what the flipbook looks like in Unity, and this motion vector texture helps us do frame blending to get really smooth motion. You can get all this project files for this video, and all the project files for my other videos as well from my Patreon. And if you want to know how to make a shockwave distortion like this one, I do have a short video on that as well. Make sure to check it out. And if VFX is something you're interested in, I do have a whole playlist for visual effects. That's the first link in the description. And if it's your first time here, my name is Matt, and this channel is all about game development. And with that being said, thanks for watching.